Well, hey guys, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday morning, TGIF. Jackson, you want to stop by and say hi? Come here. Well, hey there, Jackson. Let me see you. You sound what you want. All right, Jackson, you eat right here. May, you stay away. I'm having to keep the dogs separated while they eat. All right, here's item A. You guys met her yesterday. Okay, Jackson, you just get eat there. All right, guys. Well, like I always say, appreciate you guys spending part of your morning with me. Let's get this show on the road. Who knows where my screen is? It's always missing, whatever. Okay, there we have it. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's talk divas. Or let's talk market. Oh, that's nice to see. Look at that. Holy. That's called the, well, I have a never mind. I have a name for that pattern, but all right. So that's good though. It's a good pattern to whatever you call it. That's a nice pattern. My name wasn't PG, so I'm gonna table it. But it's another pattern I call it is clear water in the morning. Whenever the market is already in clear water, it's already broken out above the previous day's high, maybe even the day before that too. In the morning, it's clear sailing in the morning. Sometimes those are days where you just melt up all day. That would be awesome. We're so far down right now, that would be entirely possible. We could melt up the rest of the day and just barely close this gap on the NASDAQ because it's so big. I mean, the NASDAQ's up 1% right now at 25, basically. So if it got to 25, that wouldn't be that much more. So who knows? That's the bearish case, though. Watch out for the gap close and then fell. The gap closed and then fell is what we're looking for. We get over the gap and back into the prior day's range. That is super exciting. Let's look at Bitcoin. This is on Coinbase, the 24-hour chart. This looks the same way. Pretty much Bitcoin is the stock market anymore. If you guys haven't noticed, it's highly related. It moves the same direction, not really hedging too much for it. It's a risk asset. It is a risk asset. It's not so much like gold, but actually gold has turned into a risk asset too. Gold has stopped being a debasement hedge lately too. Anyway, or lately it has been, or stopped being a hedge. Anyway, it's back. Gold is back. Made a higher low yesterday, so that's positive. We have gold futures trading right at about 5,000. We'll take that. Let's look at silver futures. And then we'll look at the diversified divas. Speaking of divas, this little dog's kind of a diva. Now we got the other dog coming in. We have 3 dogs today. Hey, Marcus. Hey, DD. What's up? Well, Marcus says he sold his YMAX and he got everything he wanted out of it. So he sold it on the opening bounce, maybe. Well, but I'm still saying when YMAX came out, that was one of the better diversified funds a year ago. I mean, also there's but anyway, nowadays there's better options, or there's better ways to spread your risk around. Something like KIQQ or KSPI. I'm really in love with KSPI lately. Making a video on it right now. Hey, Mark. All right, guys, let's get back in the middle of this. Remember, not financial advice. Let's get back in the middle. Let's check out these divas. I actually remembered to do the divas this morning. So here's the rolling percent return. Well, it turned up today. Look, Chippy's back up to 9.5. SPY's back above water. Qs are turning up. They're only down 4. QLDY is down about 7. Then we have GPTY down 14. KYLD down 15. Well, they're both down 14.5 and 15. They're roughly the same. Those guys are together. Then we have the special need, these guys. Anyway, they're trying. ULTY is turning up. It's the best of the special needs bunch. But then we have WPay down here and LFGY and ULTY and of course blocks. Or it looks like they're just virtually tied it down. ULTY is down 34. Blocks is down 33. So 33 3/4. Well, so be that as it may, that is what it is. But that's updated with all the current dividends that were declared. And look at this, just on a daily basis, that's the best day we've had, shaping up to be the best day we've had in a month. So, and it looks like we've only had a couple that are looking better than the way today's starting off. Now, just as looking at it as a group, So let's look at the individual. Let's see how the individual divas are doing. So blocks is actually, what is blocks doing? Blocks is actually +7 right now. So ULTI, I'm going to say ULTI better be +8 or 10 because it seems to be more dangerous even than the block. So better catch more upside. We'll see. I haven't checked it yet this morning. Yeah, it only count 4. Well, lately they've been about the same risk, but all right. Well, there's still 4.4 is a step in the right direction because it's up. We'll call that 5. Well, it's 4.5. Now let's look at ULTY. Now, these guys aren't known for catching a lot of upside, to say the least. So these guys will be up. What, the market's up a point. Nasdaq's up 2/3 of a point. These guys will be up 0.5 point. Let's go see. Let's go see if I'm right. 1.76. Nice job, ULTY. I spoke too soon. I said you didn't catch a lot of upside. Doing a decent job today. You're not doing as well as blocks or ULTI, but you also don't drop as fast as them. So, and you're also ahead of both of them on believe it or not, ULTY would have been a better investment than blocks or ULTI over the past quarter. Believe it or not. Anyway, it hasn't been a great quarter for any of them, but I mean, the puts come in handy for ULTY and also the strategy change. All right, but what's the other one? Oh, K-Yield. Now, K-Yield's been struggling lately. I mean, kind of, but it is up 3.5. All right, let's check out some of the other divas. We have ISSB. This is the income stack product. I'm recording that video with David that I've been telling you guys about. Boy, this thing's up 7.76. That's good. That's good. I mean, this thing's super risky. This thing needs to outperform blocks on a bullish day, in my opinion. I mean, or should. You'd hope if you owned it, you would sure hope for it to. But it depends if stocks and Bitcoin are going up at the same time. Then let's check ISBG. This is the stack product of Bitcoin and gold. These are both brand new divas. They aren't on the diva handout or graphic yet, but they're divas. They're you can tell by looking at them. You can tell by looking at it. This one went up to 28.5, and within, what was that? I don't know, a week, it's sitting at 18, but it's long 2 assets, unhedged, and it's 100% long in each asset, so it's leveraged. So you get what you pay for, and ISBG's doing what it's designed to do, for better or worse. For worse lately, for better whenever those both go up. All right. Let's look at, what is that about? Here, I'm going to let this little puppy down, okay? All right. All right, everybody's happy. Jack's ate his food. The big dog, the big white dog's in there. He's good. He's happy. I'm not happy because I need some caffeine. I haven't had any caffeine yet. All right, what's on the schedule for today? But yeah, what I'm doing is I'm making a video on, look, I'll just show you. I'll give you guys you guys are Mac super fans. I'll give you guys a sneak peek, and I'm going to pass this out to you guys later. I'm making a handout for you, but today's going to be the next generation of preparing for the bear. I did one about a month ago, and I talked about synthetic equity funds. I mainly talked about funds that time that went out and used leaps. And you could get long a market with pretty much all the upside in a leap for about 10, 15, 20 cents on the dollar, depending on what strike you use, what expiration, all that kind of stuff. So most of those funds were just like using leaps and not hedging at all, just buying a leap. And even if the market went to zero, the leap loses 10 or 20, whatever the leap cost. So, but now I'm also comparing some more active hedging strategies, more interesting. This case buy from this Keith McCullough at Hedgeye, we were talking about him the other day. He has a great social media presence. Anyway, this is his fund, and we were talking about this the other day. He has a dynamic system, and I was screwing it up. Here's what it is. So it's a caller system, but it's dynamic. So when the market's super low, whenever it's below his risk range signal, but his risk range signal, the market closes within the risk range signal 83% of the time. I bet the risk range signal is some kind of standard deviation measure. And whenever it gets outside of that on the bottom side, you know, the other 17% of the time, I guess, or that you're expecting, at that point, you're hopefully expecting a bounce. So that's strategy one on their caller. Whenever it's below the risk range, let's say like yesterday, we would have been below the risk range. They publish these live and they do this every day, but let's say yesterday we're below the risk range. They wouldn't have sold it, or so today they wouldn't have sold any options. They would just be long SPY and get 100% delta. That's a little bit dangerous because just because you drop low doesn't mean you can't keep dropping lower. But anyway, they basically don't hedge when it's under the risk range. Then when it's in the standard deviation, it's in that 83%. So when it's in the bell curve, basically, is the way I'm thinking. This is kind of related to when it's in that bell curve. They have your standard collar. It's a delta 40 to 60, and what that means is you have 100 deltas long from the SPYs, and then you're gonna sell out of the money calls. So you might sell a 30 delta call, that'd be out of the money. So then your deltas are your long 100 and then your negative 30. So you're plus 70 right there, right? So you have about a 70 delta, but you spend some of those deltas on that out of the money put. Then you go down and buy a 20 delta put. All of a sudden you're at 50 delta. And when you're in the middle of the thing, you're balanced either way. That's your typical kind of caller where you have a downside floor, but you sell out of the money calls and buy out of the money puts. You give yourself space on each side, you know. Anyway, and then when you're above the risk range, so when you're, you know, out of the bell curve on the right tail, what they do is they're long the SPY. They buy at the money, or so then they switch that. They sell at the money calls and maybe buy at the money puts, or maybe even sell in the money calls and buy the money puts. Whatever, they lock out their downside by the way they move the calls and puts around. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm going to talk about in my video today the two. That's just a sneak preview. I'm going to compare this fund with KIQQ, which is another good one, and I may throw in HEQT also, but I'm going to do those funds today. So that should be coming up hopefully soon. I'm going to get cleaned up, and then I'm going to try to record it after that. And I have some handouts and stuff for you guys. I'm trying to make with my videos PDFs and white paper things that people can read, or whatever, that people can download. Like I'll make this downloadable because I explain this fast, but maybe somebody will like this and I'll put it on Patreon. Anyway, all right. So what else do you guys want to talk about? But that's what I've been working on. I've been working on these hedged equity situations. Yeah, it was, but nowadays there's better options. Yeah, just using a cover call strategy alone, it's not enough anymore. Or, you know, it works when it works, but there's so much more sophisticated strategies that work in a wider range of situations. The other thing is, if they didn't want us to, whenever they make commissions free, it makes it tempting to switch. There's almost no, other than over trading, there's almost no reason not to buy. In the old days, when you had $100 commission, you might just stay in something because, you know, I mean, you really might. I mean, so the free commission is really, really something else. You guys don't know how happy that made me. Free commissions, and when they went free commissions and everyday expirations, they're 2021, 2022 was good times. Not in the market, but not 2022, but anyway. All right. So let's look at some other stuff. Let's look at here, and I have this. I'm trying to get better at using my multiple accounts. So let me show you how good I am at doing this now. So I just go here and let's go. All right, let's get some stock tools out and focus on things other than the divas, so we can see some of you guys' other funds. And then if you have any questions, that's fine. And if not, I'll go make my video. But let's go see what old stock tools is doing. We'll look at the income ETF analysis. Of course, I have an affiliate. I'm an affiliate here. I'll put the password. I'll put the thing in the link. stocktools.app/max. All right. Let's see. What do you think the best performing fund out there is? I mean, today, let's think about it. It's going to be a W fund, which you think probably, or I'm going to say, I don't know. It could be blocks. It might well be blocks or ULTI. Hey, little puppy. I'll be done in just a second, little puppy. Sorry, it's taking a little bit. Yeah, that's a good call, Marcus. The other day I was trying to figure out how to take profits, but I didn't want to cut my allocation to gold and silver. In hindsight, probably should have. But yeah, that'd be one way to do it. I could sell both of them, and then put the proceeds from both of them into one fund that has both of them. And I thought about that, and I thought about looking for some type of other alternative, or but then I waited too late and it crashed. So I may just sell. I may just line up a little next time. I may just line up anyway next time. I don't know. I think I may stick with my guns on gold and silver, but I might line up if we get a face ripping rally. I might line up. I might darn we're line up. Okay, hang on, doggies. You got to let me do my job now. All right. So I said either a W or ULTI. Gosh. Okay. Well, that's for the month. So I mean, fiat's up 36% for the month. What's going on with strategy? Is it bouncing today? Gosh. Did you see that? There's a guy on the internet named Grant Cardone. He's I think a multi-level marketing guy. I think flashy guy. Always has nice cars and planes and stuff. I think he's I guess a crypto maximalist. He had to sell his. He's having to sell his. He has a Global Express 7500. That's I think basically the same plane or similar plane that Jay-Z and Oprah used to have a Global Express. It's a large cabin. It's like a G6. It's or a Falcon, a Dassault Falcon. It's a large cabin, big ass plane. Anyway, he posted on Twitter that he was going to have to sell it. So. But it was up for sale and it broke his heart. I'm sure it did. But my kind of cynical view on it is if you have to sell your plane because Bitcoin dropped 50%, you couldn't afford it in the first place. That's just but you know me, I'm super conservative. I mean, planes are so expensive. No one can afford a plane. A regular rich person can't afford a plane because of the cost of it. They either have to split it with 4 or 5 other rich people, or you have to be a billionaire. I mean, planes. I had a friend that was very wealthy, and another friend that was very wealthy, and they split a plane, and it about killed them. And they had tons of money before they got into the plane business. I mean, plane and boats are the same way too. Anyway, but all right, guys. So let's look at this. But I feel bad for. But. On the other hand, I can also see the other side of it. Oh, heck, if it stays up, let's have a plane for a few years. If it doesn't, what the heck? I mean, I could see the other side of it, YOLO, Yeah. No, and I'm not saying anything bad about him. I know he's a super mogul and stuff, but even super moguls can get caught in a bear market or can get caught on the wrong side of a trade. You guys didn't get caught. None of you guys are down 50%. He probably's all in on leverage on the position, and the broker probably needs his money back. So he probably had a way to cover it from another account, but he's going to have to sell the plane to make himself whole again. Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin will bounce and he'll have 2 7,500s by next year. Who knows? All right. But a real rich person will never sell his plane. Elon's never going to sell his plane. A billionaire won't have to. I mean, because they can actually afford it. A true multi-billionaire, or it'd be rare, yeah, I would think. Michael Dell's not going to get rid of his plane. All right. Well, all right. So this is a 1 day basis. There's no way that's 1 day. Are you freaking kidding me? MST is up. Holy cow. Heck yes. I'm so glad for the people that the Misty Mafia. Oh, because it's had to have been terrible to be in the Misty Mafia lately. That is wonderful. I mean, unfortunately, probably most of them are out. The weak hands sold, the strong hands have this, and the strong hands are probably making the money off this. But man, have we ever seen a 30% up move? I'm trying to think. Yeah, yesterday there was a stock that was down 33%. You see 33% down moves, but a 33% up move? I mean, not very often. Anyway, great job, MST. All right, so, but Misty is up 15. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so let's see. And I bet you Misty did better than, well, let's see. Let's check it. MSTW is probably up 20 because it has leverage. But I would say I bet Misty did better than, I was going to name another one. But yeah, MSTW up 22 because of the leverage. Great job. What's another I missed? I bet Misty did better than I missed. Well, maybe not. The other day, Misty was up, and Yilmax, the guys called all the upside. Yilmax is up 8%, and the fund was up 8% too. I don't know if these guys are just not even selling options when it's this low, maybe, or just going so far out of the money it doesn't cap them that much. Yeah, so the Bitwise fund based on Mr. is also up about 15%, just like Misty. Anyway, whatever, that is nice. Hang on, I'm going to put it on mute for a second. All right. Yeah, it was guaranteed to bounce. Question is how high. I know it. And I was up late reading Twitter, and I was reading all the FUD, on Twitter. And I'm like, and I'm like, then it makes me feel stupid. And all these other people are talking about, and then I see other people on Twitter that have, that used to be in risk, and they're all in Excel UI and stuff. And they get maybe, but then there's other people like me that are stuck or that are like, when I was down 7 yesterday, I went from up 5 to down 7 in a month. I was, or maybe even up more than 5. I think I was up 7 or 6 even. But it was a pretty big 15-point swing, and that's even with that inverse, and after de-risking a little bit. So in my inverses, I'm not happy with Salty. If there's one day that Salty has to be up, it's yesterday. You can't not be up yesterday. That's not a thing. So Salty's probably fixing to get dumped. I mean, I'm still going to keep the protection on, but I could just buy. I could use the 5% in Salty and boost another 5% in ATTR, because I still don't think this is going to be a good year. I still bet this is like 2022. I do bet this is going to be like 2022. It's just like 2022. It's already starting off just like it. We're going to have let's look at 2022, and I'll show you what I mean. We have a face ripping rally, and we did this the same thing. We sold off in January. We started ripping up in February and March, and that was sold. And I mean, you guys remember it was ugly, and this is just like it, in my opinion. But the reason for 2022 was because it was a inflation scare, and the reasons are different, but it just reminds me of 2022. So yeah, so there we have 2022. So we're gonna scroll back. Oh, no. I'm gonna scroll back this way and take a look at it. Well, that's not very fast. Why does it do it so slow? Surely there's got to be a better way. Can I not just? Gosh. Let's do this and trick it. How about that? I tricked you. This is a better way to look at it anyway. Okay. The high was made the last of the year, January 3rd. The high this time was January 26th. But we were also up there on December 29th, we were high, and then January 5th. Yeah, right in there, right around the first of the year. That's the high so far. Now this is a weekly chart. Let me get this a little better. Really on the weekly chart, it doesn't look so bad. But so then in 2022, made the high at the end of the year, came down, made the low February and March, which is February is the worst month of the year. I say it all the time. Rallied up, couldn't take a new high, reversed, made a new low, went up, couldn't make a new high, made a new low. You guys get the idea. You guys remember. It just, hope I'm wrong. And we'll know. And the reason I'll know if I'm wrong is because we'll start making new highs. If we make a new high, then I'm wrong. And that's fine. And that's, I mean, I'm wrong temporarily, but maybe it's, all right. So let's see how everything's bounced. Let's see daily charts of everything. All right. So SPY's bouncing up 1.17. Qs are bouncing. I'm really happy about MicroStrategy. I mean, I'm sure it's just a dead cat bounce, but I mean, hopefully people that are stuck maybe use it to get out or whatever. Or maybe hopefully people that were buying the dip got some yesterday and are being handsomely rewarded today. That'd be fine with me too. All right, Q's up 1.15. Let's look at IBIT. IBIT has all kinds of problems, as you guys can see. That, I mean, just so much overhead supply in IBIT. Maybe that's what I should line up on into a. If we get a rally, that's what I'm going to line up on is BITK. Or I'm going to duck BITK. I'll get it back some other time. I'll get it back some other time. Hey, David. Gosh darn, I have this. Yeah, thanks for being here, David. Happy Friday. Marcus is saying, honestly, Max, I just hold YQQ. No, you don't. Yeah, I agree 100%. I didn't know that in hindsight. I mean, I was hoping to watch Salty. I mean, if Salty won't, go up into a Bitcoin. Now, that's why I got it, because it has I wanted exposure to the short exposure to the high beta part of the economy, but it's not working. So I'm starting to throw Salty in the same bus as FEAT, FEAT and 5E. But yeah, YQQ has been a good one. It bleeds, but not too bad because it's based on the whole index. You and I, Marcus, both held it through a full cycle last time, and it hedged me. It didn't cap you too bad. It didn't seem to, and it capped me a little bit too bad, maybe. But I mean, it capped me a little bit, but it I held it through the cycle, and it didn't kill my results too bad. Yeah, winter. That's one. I mean, Salty's based on multiple stocks. Winter's based on MicroStrategy. In hindsight, yes, Winter, but I was hoping Salty would be better. But all right, I'll stop worrying about it. All right, guys, well, I'm gonna get out of here and go take care of these dogs and try to get this video out. Barring anything else that we need to talk about, I haven't checked K Gold and K Silv yet. K Gold's up 3.42. And that's not great. Well, yeah, that is great. Okay, Howard's getting all the upside. Good job, Howard. And K-Silv's up 4.3. Yeah, we're silver's up 4.09. So I guess we're in good shape on those for a while. Income Architect holds a 2-buy. Yeah, no, I know it. He probably copied off you and I. Who was the first person to do that? I think it was me. I think I invented that hedge. I mean, I went crazy when that came out. I thought that was the best idea about it the day it came out, and I've held it ever since because it's inverse the whole index. I just thought that was so cool. There's none of the other funds have put out any inverses. I mean, I know all you guys hate Yield Max. I get it. That's an area where they definitely innovated, though. I mean, you can't. That's an area where they are the best. They aren't the best at leverage. You'd say that's probably round hill. They aren't the best at whatever. At upside capture, you'd say that's curve. I would too, or whatever. But yeah, they got them some inverses in there. It was all good. I'm glad I gave you a good idea because it makes me feel good because I feel bad because I feel that I'm getting all the good ideas from you guys. I'm supposed to be the influencer, but I'm more influenced from you guys. You guys are so smart. I mean, in here, I get so many ideas from SB or Marcus or Mark or whoever. All of you guys. Charles, where's Chuck? Chuck's not here. Charles isn't in here today, but he's here at night. So I get tons of good ideas from you guys. But anyway, that was one good idea I had, and I think blocks was my second good idea, or I was instantly in love with that. Those are my two good ideas. I've had a couple of bad ideas too. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys this afternoon, if not sooner. See ya.